Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see some related terms used in propositional logic. You already seen a video about propositional logic. We introduced you the propositional logic. We have discussed some of the terms used in propositional logic. Here in this video, we are going to see few more related terms. So we are going to see one by one. So first one is contingencies. The proposition that have some combination of ones and zeros in their truth table column, we call it as contingency. So when you want to, if you want to understand this, you have to go through this table. Okay, it will be like I'll ask you to solve one truth table, and final columns come like this. Say if you have zeros and combinations of zeros and ones, then you declare it as contingency. So you will be writing a declaration statement after you complete your truth table. Below that you will be writing declaration statement like this. So you will be writing it is a contingencies. Okay, that is, it has both 0 and 1. It may not be in the same order, it may be in different order. Okay, but the combination will be like you have some zeros and some ones. Okay, next one is tautology. So the proposition having nothing but ones in their truth table column. So if you solve one truth table, and suppose if you see the final column, the result column like this, all the values are ones. So if you see something like this, then you declare it as tautology. So you will be terming it as tautology. So the result column, if all the values are ones, you will be declaring it as tautologies. Next is you are going to see contradiction. The propositions having nothing but zeros in their truth table column, then you call it as contradiction. So you can see that the result column, okay, all the values are 0. If you find any truth table like this, all the values are 0, then you can declare it as contradiction. So you are going to write the declaration, that is declaration statement below as the column as a contradiction statement. Next is consistent statement. So you should know what is a consistent statement. Two statements that are consistent if and only if their conjunction is not a contradiction. So when you read it, you may get confused. What is this? You may not understand what it is, but when you go through the terms, okay, then you will know what it is. So you will have you have got two terms here. One is conjunction, another one is contradiction. You should understand what is this. If you understand what is this, then it is easy to understand. So what is this conjunction? Conjunction is nothing but it is related to AND operator, right? You would have seen this in the previous video. Okay, disjunction, next comes conjunction. So in that conjunction, you use it for AND. So P and Q. Okay, two statements. So if you have two statements in between, if you have a connective called AND, then you call it as conjunction. Is not a contradiction. So just now we have seen what is a contradiction is nothing but 0. Okay, so this is what it says. If the conjunction is not a contradiction, that is the result is not 0. Okay, in this truth table you can see only one row it is not 0, remaining all 0. So it is not a contradiction. If two statements, okay, if you use AND operator, normally you will get only the last row as 1, right? So this line, this row, you call it as consistent statement. If the antecedent and consequent using the conjunction operator, and if it is not a contradiction, then you call it as consistent statement. So hope you understood now. Now you are going to see three important terms. They will ask you in board exams. Okay, they will ask you to convert. Right. So converse, inverse, and contrapositive. So you are going to see one by one. So first they will give a term and they will ask you to write the converse of that. Okay. So converse. It is been defined like this. So converse of the conditional proposition is determined by interchanging the antecedent and consequent of the given conditional. It results into a new conditional. Now you would have seen this antecedent and consequent in the previous videos. Nothing but P and Q. Okay, antecedent is nothing but you are going to mention P as antecedent and Q as consequent. Okay, why I am saying P and Q is first statement and second statement. Okay, statement 1 is antecedent, statement 2 is consequent. Now what it says is determined by interchanging, that is you are going to interchange the statements. Okay, so if you want to make it, if I want to make you understand, I can give an example. Converse of P implies Q. Okay, that is why it is given in the question, right? You can see converse of the conditional proposition. So this operator is nothing but the conditional operator. Okay, you can say implies, you can say implication, right? So P implies Q is nothing but the converse of that is Q implies P. You are going to interchange. So P and Q, you are going to interchange it as Q and P, right? Q implies P. Now if you take it as terms, that is if you take it as terms, you will be writing like this. What about if you take it as sentences? You will see that. Say for example, if you have the value for P is it is raining and Q as a value sky is not clear. Okay, two different statements are there. You are going to use the conditional. Okay, so when you use conditional, P implies Q, it will be like this. So when you use conditional, you would have seen that you will be using if then, right? So you have to add that if then in the statement to combine. If it is raining, then sky is not clear, right? So this is a normal combination, right? You are going to combine both the statement using if then. Okay, that is the conditional. Okay. So now this statement you are going to convert it into converse. So converse is nothing but interchanging P and Q, right? So what happens? The statement also should be interchanged. So two statements are there. So you can see the second statement comes first and first statement goes next. So you can write if the sky is not clear, then it is raining. Now you can understand what it is. So you are going to just interchange both this sentence and write. And if you are going to join both, you are going to use if then. Okay, if you use if then you call it as converse. So it will come like this: if the sky is not clear, then it is raining. Next is inverse. The inverse of the conditional proposition is another conditional having negated antecedent and consequence. That means you are going to write the antecedent as negated antecedent and consequent as negated consequent. You are going to just inverse it. So you can see to understand that given an example, inverse of P implies Q is P dash implies Q dash, right? You are going to negate it. Okay. So if you have a true statement, you are going to make it as false statement. If you have a false statement, you are going to make it as a true statement, right? Now you can see an example. It is raining. So P value is it is raining and Q value is sky is not clear. You are not going to interchange anything. You are going to inverse it. Okay, that is only you are going to do. So normal statement is like this. P implies Q is if it is raining, then sky is not clear, right? This is a normal statement. Now when you inverse, what happens? P dash implies Q dash. If it is not raining, you can see it is raining, it is changed into if it is not raining, then sky is not clear is there in the input statement, but you are going to write it as sky is clear. You are going to inverse, right? You are going to write the true into false, false into true. So sky is not clear will be written as sky is clear. So this is how you are going to write the inverse statement. Now the last one is contrapositive statement. So here contrapositive is formed by creating another conditional that takes its antecedent as negated consequent as negated antecedent of the earlier conditional. So here you can see that you are going to combine both converse and inverse. So converse what you did is you interchanged and inverse what you did is you negated. So both you are going to combine in this contrapositive. So what happens is antecedent will become negated consequent becomes negated antecedent. So when you read it as terms, you may not understand, but when you see the example, you can see here contrapositive of P implies Q is Q dash implies P dash. Okay, so now when you read it, you may understand. So antecedent becomes negated consequent. You can see this is antecedent, right? Now it becomes Q will be interchanged here, so and then it is negated. Consequent as negated antecedent, right? You are going to interchange both as well as you are going to negate both. Now you can see the example. If P is it is as like it is raining, Q is sky is not clear. Now P implies Q is if it is raining, then sky is not clear. This is what the statement you got. Now its contrapositive statement is Q dash implies P dash. If the sky is clear, then it is not raining. Okay, very simple. So you have to remember what is what, right? So remember it. So converse, you are going to interchange antecedent and consequent. For inverse, you are going to make it as negated antecedent and consequent. And contrapositive, you are going to mix both. Okay, antecedent you are going to make it as negated consequent, and consequent you make it as negated antecedent. So this is how you are going to write in exams. Okay, hope you understood this video. Different terms were used because for the first time when you go through all this, you may find it difficult, but when you keep on listening to it, or whenever you use these words again and again, you may get to know about it, you may get familiar about it. Okay, so do practice. I will meet in the next video. Till then, thank you.